Just kidding. Hey guys, so I forgot to make an intro after I did my makeup, so I am just making a quick little intro right now, just so there would be something in the beginning. So yeah, I'm doing a makeup look on the makeup I was wearing for my fashion haul video, and yeah, so make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into the video. Bye. Okay, so I'm going to do a makeup look using the Subculture palette and the Yes Please palette by ColourPop. I've already done my brows. I do those off camera just because they take me a while sometimes. But yeah, I'm just going to jump in. I'm going to conceal my eyelid. And also, if you guys see me looking down over here, it's because I have my mirror right here. So that's what I'm going to be using. That's what I'm going to be doing. Okay, thanks. I used the ColourPop No Filter Concealer to conceal my eye. And then I'm just going to blend it out the other side. I just used the wrong side of my thing. So I'm going to take my M441 brush from Morphe, and I'm going to take the Yes Please palette, and I'm going to use the color Full Zip to set my concealer on my eye. Now that I have that set, I don't know why I slammed that so hard. I'm going to be using the same brush, but I'm going to take the color Big Cocktails. It's an orangey shade. And I'm going to work that into my crease, kind of as my transition shade. But I'm going to make it a little bit darker than a normal transition shade, just because of the look I'm going for.
Make it a little bit darker.
Also, I've noticed that a couple of the shades in this palette aren't as pigmented as others. This orange one is pretty pigmented, but for the color payoff that I want, I do apply it 2 or 3 times, but I don't have to use that much product. So now that I have that blended out on both my eyes, I'm going to take my JH32 brush from the Jaclyn Hill collection, and I'm going to dip into the Spoiled color from the ColourPop palette as well. And I'm only going to put that on one side of my brush. And I'm going to work that into the outer corner, but the upper part of my crease. And I love this brush because the way it's pointed on the tip of it, you can put the product on just one side and work it on either the lower half or the upper half of your eye, which I do for a lot of my eye looks. So I definitely like this brush collection. And as I get less and less product on the brush, I'm going to take it in about halfway and kind of just blend it all out. I'm mainly focusing the majority of the red color on the outer corner because I want that to be the darkest. So yeah, now that I have that blended out, I'm going to, I'm actually going to take the same brush again, but I'm going to dip into the Subculture palette, and I'm going to be using the shade All Star. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to get it on one side of my brush. And this palette is really, really pigmented, so you really just need to dip your brush like a tiny little bit, or you're going to have a lot of color. Come on. So I'm going to just do this basically right over top of the color that I just did. I'm only going to do it on the outer corner. And then as I get less product again, I'm going to drag it in a little bit further just to blend everything together. So once you have that pretty blended, obviously I'm going to blend it more at the end. This is just kind of the beginning process that I do. So I'm going to take the R39 brush from Morphe as well, and I'm going to go into the ColourPop palette. I'm going to use the color Mischief. It's a really pretty yellow shade. And I'm not going to tap any excess powder off my brush because I want the color to be pretty vibrant. So I'm going to put that on the outer corner. And I'm not going to really blend it. I'm just going to pack it on my lid. And I'm only going to go about halfway. And I'm going to do the same to the other eye. And then I'm going to take the M441 and I'm going to take the color Big Cocktails again, and I'm going to kind of blend the yellow into the other colors. And then once you have that blended to your liking, I'm actually basically done for the majority of the part. The last step I'm going to do is I'm going to take the JH41 brush, also from the Jaclyn Hill collection, and I'm going to spray it with some MAC Fix Plus, except I have to unlock it first. And I'm going to take the color Chauffeur from the ColourPop palette. I'm not sure if you guys can see it on camera, but it's kind of like metallic-y, and I like the way that looks. And then I'm going to take my mirror from my Subculture palette to do this. I'm going to go right over top of the yellow shade with this color. Okay, so I don't like the way that's turning out on the brush, so I'm going to take my finger and just do it with my finger. Okay, so that turned out a lot more vibrant. I'm trying to like make it to where you guys can see what I'm doing, but when I do it with my finger it's a little bit hard because I have to angle my finger a specific way because of my nails. but I will show you guys. So actually I'm going to go in first with the brush because it did turn out a little bit more vibrant when I did it that way. Okay, so these two sides don't really match for some reason. Okay, I'm going to try with the brush again on my other eye because... Okay, that worked a little bit better. Okay, so now that I have both eyes the way that I want them, I'm going to take, if I can find it, I'm going to take the M441 again one more time, and I'm actually going to dip into the shade New Wave from the Subculture palette. It's this shade, and I'm just going to get a little bit of that on my brush. And I'm just going to kind of go over everything one more time just to make sure I don't have any harsh lines, make sure everything is blended out the way I want it. You know what, scratch that actually. I'm going to go in, actually I don't know what this brush is called. I've had it for like 2 years now. I'm going to go back into the shade All Star, and I'm going to pack a little bit more of that on the outer corner because I do want it to look a little bit darker than it is. Now I'm going to go in with the color Big Cocktails, and I'm also going to mix it with the color Spoiled from the ColourPop palette, and I'm going to go over top of that and blend everything out. Okay, so now that the eyelid is blended, it does look darker on this side. That's just because the light is hitting my eye more on this side, but when I look in my mirror, it is the same. So I'm going to take the JH43 brush, and I'm going to take the color Spoiled and the color Big Cocktails, so this red color and the orange color. I'm going to dip a little bit into both, and I'm going to do my waterline with those colors. Ignore my ugly face when I'm doing this, by the way. That's how I do it. I have to, I don't even know what I do, but I have to do it. Okay, so now I'm going to take the JH39 brush. It's just a little tiny blending brush, and I'm going to take the shade All Star from the Subculture palette, and I'm going to go over top of that. Okay, so now that I have my eyes done to the way I want them, I'm going to put my hair up actually, and I'm going to apply my foundation. Okay, so now that I have my hair up, I'm going to spray my face with the MAC Fix Plus. And for some reason, I just got that in my mouth, but the little sprayer on this is kind of messed up. I should have just taken it back, but I didn't. I was too lazy. But it is kind of messed up, so it sprays kind of funny, so that's why I don't just spray it like normal. I have to kind of drag it, because if I don't, it just sprays and like blotches all over my face. And I mean, that would be my luck to get the one that doesn't spray right. But I'm going to take the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth foundation, and the color I use is 102. I'm pretty sure it's the lightest foundation you can get in this brand because that's me. And I'm going to put it on the back of my hand, if it will come out. I think this one's almost gone. And then I'm going to take my Real Techniques Beauty Blender. I'm going to spray my Beauty Blender with the MAC Fix Plus a couple of times. And then, yeah, I'm just going to start blending my foundation out. I do kind of clean up my eyeliner with my foundation, and then I also touch up a little bit more with my concealer once I get to that step. So I'm just going to keep blending everything out. And I love this foundation because you can honestly build it up to be full coverage, but you can also just put like a light layer on and it will still cover up a lot of like your blemishes. And for me, I like it because it covers up my redness, because I do have pretty red skin for the most part. And I love it because it just covers it up and it still makes my face look pretty dewy, and it doesn't make it look dry even if I apply like 3 layers, which I normally don't have to apply that much because the first layer that I do looks pretty good. But for those of you that like full coverage, you can still use this foundation and you can build it up. So I'm going to go in and spray my Beauty Blender one more time. You see what I mean? I sprayed that twice and it didn't even get my Beauty Blender. I'm just going to take the remainder of the foundation that's on the back of my hand, and I'm going to kind of blend that on both sides of my face. And a little bit more on my forehead. Then I'm going to put it on my neck just a little bit. I don't go like down here, I just kind of do it on the bottom part of my chin, just so everything blends together. This foundation does match my skin actually pretty well, so I don't have to do anything crazy. So yeah, now that I have my foundation blended out, I'm going to take the ColourPop No Filter Concealer and I'm going to put it under my eyes. Normally I just put the concealer everywhere that I want to conceal, but I have found that this concealer kind of dries more quickly, so I like to just do my under eyes and then the bridge of my nose, and everything else separate. So I'm going to take my Beauty Blender, I'm going to spray it with MAC Fix Plus again. This time I'm going to take this side and I'm just going to go in and blend my under eye out. This is about my 4th time using this concealer, and I actually like it a lot. It doesn't look too dry on my face. I haven't used it like in the middle of the day though, like if I don't wash my face and then instantly do my makeup after, so it's nice and moisturized. I haven't used it other than that. So my skin is already like pre-moisturized and stuff like that when I do go in with it. So I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it. But as of right now, I do really like this concealer. Now that I have that blended out, I'm going to put a little bit on the other areas of my face that I want to highlight. I'm going to take a little bit down the bridge of my nose, do some of my forehead. I also conceal the sides of my lips and then the top part as well. And I put a little bit in the corner of my nose, right here. And then I'm gonna spray this again just because I do. You know what I just noticed? I sprayed this side of my beauty blender and then I used it for like a second and then I switched it and started doing, well, you know what? It's the thought that counts. I tried. So now that I have my face concealed to the way I want it, I'm going to take my Anastasia Contour Cream Kit. I'm going to go in with the middle color in Light Sculpt. And I'm going to be taking my Expert Face Brush from Real Techniques. I'm going to spray the top of it. That's one out there. And I'm going to dip into that a little bit. And then I'm going to contour my cheekbones. And then I know this brush is kind of big to contour my nose, but I have used it before and it works. So I'm going to just take a little bit on the tip of that and go lightly down the sides of my nose. I honestly kind of like this for nose contouring because you can always go back through and clean it up if it does get a little bit messy. But because of the fact that it is pretty fluffy, it kind of blends it out as you apply it, so you don't have to go back and re-blend it too much. I mean, you obviously have to a little bit because I did mess up just now. I mean, of course, why wouldn't I mess up? And then I'm going to take it and do a little bit on my forehead because, yeah, I don't like the way my forehead is. And I'm just going to kind of blend it out on my forehead as I do it. And I'm going to take it down to my original contour line and go along my hairline. And then I'm going to spray the brush again, and I'm going to start blending the cheekbones out. I do blend in an upward motion. I don't want to blend down because I want the contour to go up and not down. If you guys have any really good brushes that you like to use to contour your face with, you guys should comment down below and recommend me some. I haven't found one that I absolutely love yet. I'm still looking. So now that I have that contoured out, I'm going to take, you know what? You know how I just said I already recorded this and I deleted it because I didn't like it? So I also forget to set my under eye in the last video and I just fucking did that again. So I'm gonna backtrack. Actually no, I'm going to bake my under my contour first. I'm gonna go back in and set my under eye, so hopefully it won't crease at the moment. I don't know why I just threw that down, but I did. I'm gonna be taking the Too Faced Born This Way translucent setting powder. Tap a little bit in. I'm gonna take my Already Damp Beauty Blender and dip into that. And I'm just gonna go under this, and actually I do need more than that. Okay, so my baby hairs are fucking out of this world ridiculous. And I hate them. Okay, that's it, turned out better. Oh. So yeah, I am doing that. I don't know why I just said that, but I did, so. You know, I'm not having the best day today. I'm just gonna, you know, for the 5th time, I'm gonna go over there. Okay. So that is now how I want it. That does look like a lot of powder, and bitch, it is, but I messed up a couple of times. So we're gonna ignore that and act like it didn't happen. I'm going to dump the excess powder back in the container. And I'm going to go in with my Fenty Beauty Lavender Setting Powder. I almost called it setting spray. It's powder, my lavender setting powder. And I'm just gonna honestly put this down because I took the little plastic piece off and then I dropped it, and the powder kind of just went crazy and came out everywhere, so there's a ton of powder on the top. So I don't know what's going on right now, but my brushes are like semi-stuck together. Okay, anyways, I'm going to take my Real Techniques setting brush. I'm just going to dip in to my Fenty powder and set my under eye. This has a light scent. It's not a strong scent. I don't know if they meant to do it or not, but I love it. I am here for it, living for it. It's like a slight perfumey. Like, I feel like if they made a perfume that smelled like this, I'd probably wear it, honestly, because I kind of love it. I'm going to go down the bridge of my nose, but I'm going to do that. I'm just going to tap in with my finger a teeny bit and do it down my nose just to brighten that out. Okay, there's something going on right here. Okay, so now that I have that done, I'm going to close that. And I'm going to wipe away the excess powder. I'm just going to kind of go over all my face with, well, not my eye. I don't know why I just did that. That was weird. I'm going to go all over my face with the excess powder that I have. And then I am going to go in with my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. And I'm going to take my Morphe M527 bronzing brush, and I'm just going to kind of bronze over my contour. Just because I like my contour a little bit darker. Take a little bit on the top of my forehead, just to kind of give it a little bit more depth. And then I'm going to take my Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush, and I'm going to take a little bit of the bronzer again, and I'm going to go down the sides of my nose. And yeah. And then I'm going to take my, I don't know why I keep saying I'm going to take, I don't know how I'm even saying it. I'm going to take my Wet n Wild Loose Highlighting Powder in the shade Written in the Stars. And I'm going to do a little bit of highlight. Wow, that powder's crazy. I'm not sure what brush I'm going to use. Yes, I am. So I know this is an eyeshadow brush, but this is what I used previously, and I liked how it turned out. It's the JH3 Deep brush. And I'm just going to take a little bit. I don't want my highlight insane today. I know that's a first. Actually, you know what? I do kind of want it a little bit extreme. So I'm going to spray this. Did you just hear how I said gonna? I'm going to spray this. Do that again, because I'm going to do that. And yes. Okay. So I do like that better. I'll do a little bit of that. I'm just going to spray my brush again, just because I can. And dip into that. So it is a little bit pinker than I was anticipating, but oh well, I'm gonna work with it. And wow, do you see that? Because I see that. I'm just gonna work with that because that's blinding, honestly. Like the camera doesn't even want to pick all that up. That's how good it is. Okay, so I don't actually think I need more. I kind of go, like originally I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna do a little highlighter today, and then I kind of go out of control with it. But yeah, so I'm going to do my eyelashes now. I'm just gonna curl them. I don't know what eyelash curler this is. I don't know what brand it's from or anything like that, but I do know it's the best eyelash curler. And I guess that doesn't really help if I can't tell you a brand, but so I go in and I do it about, honestly, like 15 or 20 times. Just because I'm a little extra with my eyelashes. I like getting lash extensions, but my best person for lash extensions is always booked because she's really, really good. And so I haven't been able to get in with her recently. But once I'm able to, I'm gonna have those back. I don't have my fucking mascara. So I'm gonna go in with my mascara. It's called Mayel or something like that. It is the Above and Beyond mascara. You cannot get it in stores. I don't think you can order online. I believe it's like $20, but it is definitely worth the $20. So now that I have my mascara on, I'm gonna go ahead and set my face with the MAC Fix Plus. I know, that's excessive, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So my last step I'm gonna do is my lips. I'm gonna go in with, this is actually from Ulta Beauty. It's the Peach Automatic Lip Liner. So I am gonna be using this. This is the color. It's really pretty. So now that I have my lips outlined, I'm going to go in with the Too Faced Melted Latex High Shine Lipstick in the color Hopeless Romantic. This is a little swatch for you guys. I haven't used this color yet, I've only swatched it. So, from first applying it, I'm gonna be straight up honest, I hate it. I like the color, but I mean, the title, Melted Latex, I feel like they're really not joking. It's, I can't even explain this. Oh God. Yeah. So, I'm not trying to be a bitch, but I hate this. Probably never gonna use it again. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on that. Sorry to be negative. Yeah, this is the final look. Just a simple little orangey, smoky eye. I do love the color of the lipstick, but it's really, really, really sticky, almost like a lip gloss, and I don't believe it's gonna dry down. If it does, I think I'll be a little bit happier with it. I also don't like the way it smells. It kind of like gets in your mouth. Like, you know when like a smell gets into your mouth? I don't know if that even makes sense to any of you, but it makes sense to me, and I just don't like what I'm smelling. So yeah, that is it for this little get ready with me. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.